Hi guys, I'm Victor von Claus, one of the experts here at Curated.com. I'm 27 years old. I've been snowboarding just about my entire life, greater part about 20 years. As an expert here at Curated, I'm constantly hooking up beginners, making sure that they're getting the right gear. So today we're going to go over some tips and tricks and making sure that that first setup that you get that gets you out on the hill is going to be that choice option for you. Let's get it. So big important things when you're getting that perfect setup right off the bat is, it's going to maximize not only the amount of fun that you have on the hill, it's going to reduce the amount of fatigue that you get so that you have the best time. You progress where you want on the hill and exactly the way that you want. I mean, a quick analogy that I can give you is, you wouldn't buy flip-flops to go run a mile in. That's definitely going to hurt at the end of that mile if you can even make it that far. So the things that we're going to cover today are the most key components of getting your beginning setup, but board, boots, and bindings especially.
This thing's tight. Pick one up.
So with snowboards, there's a few things to consider coming into the sport ahead of time. If you've ridden skateboards or you've longboarded, wakeboarded, surf, you name it, a lot of the profiles of the snowboards that are out there will come into play. So you've got like your traditional camber, which is bowed towards the snow, gives you more of an aggressive ride, gives you something a little bit more poppy and just responsive, for lack of a better term. Then you get like your rocker, which is bowed away towards the snow, very relaxed, great for absolute beginners who've never ridden before, who've never touched any kind of board at all. Then you have these new hybrid kind of cambers where you either get rocker or camber in between the bindings, and the combination elsewhere. Most retailers or brands of the sort will give you kind of an overview of how that works and how it will benefit your riding. For hopping into bindings, for especially a beginner, you want to make sure that you get something, I would say highly recommend a mid-flex binding. Then that way it gives you the clairvoyance to hop on either a stiffer or a softer board without having too much of an issue. Today, right now, I got the Union Flight Pros, which used to be my daily driver. Phenomenal beginner binding, will get you through just about on any board that you want. Any kind of terrain, no problem. It's forgiving when you need it to be, responsive when you want it. So again, nothing worse than grabbing a too soft of a binding for a board that's too stiff, or maybe even just too stiff of a binding that might be uncomfortable for you. So with boots, very similar to bindings, you want to at least start with something that's about a soft to a mid-flex. That way it gives you at least a little bit of forgiveness with being able to get the responsive turns that you want, or learning your turns at least. And also make sure you get something with a nice comfort liner in it. Again, kind of like the flip-flops analogy, you want to make sure that when you're putting those long hours in, you have something that supplements your foot and keeps you comfy all day without fatiguing your feet or your calves too much. And just like we went over, I know that getting all of this beginner gear here can be rather daunting, sometimes a little overwhelming at times. Even the price tag might look like a little bit too much for you, but at any rate, come on over to Curated.com, come check out my profile. I'll hook you up with free expert advice, make sure that we get you hooked up the right way the first time, and then also make sure you subscribe to the channel here on YouTube so you can check out me and all the other experts here at Curated as we go through all sorts of awesome gear, and we help make sure that you have the best season you humanly possibly can.